Foul.
To do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Test 1 2. Come on in, YouTube and Twitch. Appreciate you. Come on in. We just making sure YouTube is ready. YouTube makes you do a lot. Twitch is on live, so we good there. Let's see. Okay. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by DopeContent.com. I am your host, Kevin K. Lou Lewis. Dope Content. I use my government name right there, but I am your host, Dope Content, and we are joined by Tony from Get the Tables once again, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up?
In his Tampa Bay jersey, so he is fully ready for tonight's game. So we're not going to waste time, Tony. But before we get into it, how's your day going? How's your week going?
Going quick. It's Wednesday already, so hell yeah, I'm
Thursday.
doing good over here. Thursday, yeah, you're right. Shit, Thursday. Holy crap. Yeah, you are right. Oh man, where am I at? Yeah, it is going quick.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess as long as I'm working, I still feel like the weeks are slow, even if they are going quick. But yeah, overall, it has been a quick week when you really think about it. But everything is good. The summer just won't go away in Texas.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees here in October. That's insane.
It just won't go away. I don't understand it. Make sure YouTube is live, so we are good to go. Let's go ahead and play this intro. We're going to get into some NFL. On the screen, you see Karl Anthony Towns in a New York jersey. You see the Vikings. We're going to have to talk about the Vikings. Are they for real or not? I think it's time to start talking about them. Tony, I think we might have to put them in some power rankings or something. And then if we have time, we'll get into that crazy NCAA game between Georgia and Alabama. But let's play this intro, and then we'll be right back to dive into the NFL. I believe week 4 is what we just finished, right?
Correct.
All right, so let's get into it. there it is. Everything is going to plan so far. The intro played on time. I didn't have to do nothing crazy, so we're good. Off to a good start. So let's get right into it, man. Around the NFL Week 4 recap. Starting off Thursday night, the Dallas Cowboys move to 2-2 as they take out the New York Giants 20-15 in New York. The Giants are now 1-3. Daniel Jones was 29 of 40 for 281 yards. Malik Neighbors, before he knocked himself out, 12 catches, 115 yards. Did you see that? That was crazy.
Yeah, that was.
Before he knocked himself out, he had 12 catches for 115 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. Dak Prescott, 22 of 27, 221, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jake Ferguson, 7 catches, 49 yards. Wandale Robinson, who I got in my fantasy, so I appreciate these 11 catches, 71 yards, even though it was on my Cowboys. I appreciate it. And yeah, Dallas 2-2, Giants 1-3. I stand by what I said last week. I don't care that they beat the Giants. I told y'all they was gonna beat the Giants, and I'm still on Team Tank. The problem is with Team Tank is our division is trash.
Yeah.
So as long as our division is trash, they got hopes to making the playoffs. But me, I'm thinking bigger picture. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not winning the Super Bowl this year. Bruh. So I'm tired of watching them make the first round and losing. That's just me. But I get it, Cowboys fans. You want them to keep pushing because you know you got a chance to win a division. The Eagles are a question mark. The Giants suck. Washington, people are starting to believe a little bit, but you really don't believe because it's still Washington. So I'm all for Team Tank still. I don't care that they beat the Giants. They should have lost that game. If Daniel Jones was a better quarterback, they should have lost. You can't trade Tank Lawrence now because he's injured. But I'm still on a trade Tank. Trade Deron Bland if you're not going to re-sign him because his contract he needs a new contract too. So make a decision on him now. And if you're not going to re-sign him, trade him now and get something. I'm all for getting draft picks. That's me. So, but you got any thoughts on that game?
No, it was a good game, surprisingly, on Thursday last week. Malik going off again 2 weeks in a row. Like you said, came to a kind of crashing halt when he knocked himself out on that little sideline catch, which was kind of wild because he didn't take a good big old hit. He just caught the ball and went down.
He didn't. Somebody didn't teach him how to fall like in WWE.
Yeah,
what's good?
The lack of running game for the Giants really hurt them as well. I mean, Singletary 14 carries for 24 yards. That's rough.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it was just your typical Giants game where they kind of stuck around a little bit, but at the end they just blew it and couldn't win the game. I hear what you're saying about the Cowboys, but it seems like you're the only one on the Cowboys fan club that wants them to tank. You're hearing all this rumors about. Well,
they're not getting Devontae.
Until today, it looks like the Devontae talks are coming to an end.
It never started.
They were listed as one of the teams interested in Devontae Adams
at some point, Cowboys fans got to stop
Devontae Adams
at some point.
I never really thought he would go there. It's too much of a drama right now with the Cowboys. You don't know what you're gonna get, even if you do go over there and you pair up him with CeeDee Lamb. You don't know what you're gonna get from the front office and everything going around there.
Because you got to pay Devontae too. Or you going to do that if Derrick Henry at $8 million was too cheap? I mean, was too much. And then you got to pay Micah, and you got to decide on Deron Bland. You got a lot of things you got to do. Nah, I knew that wouldn't happen.
I want to worry about your own team until instead of going after someone else.
You're right.
At the moment. But yeah, nothing really much out of that game. I know you guys came out kind of hurting with some injuries. So, I mean, other than that, I thought it was a pretty solid game for the Dallas and Giants game on Thursday.
Yeah, D-Web, I don't know why your comments are not showing up either, but I appreciate you joining, bro. What's good? Hope everything is good with you. Yeah, I don't know. It's a Streamlabs thing. It gotta be. But moving on, a game that you probably like or dislike, I don't know. The Falcons move to 2-2 as they take out the Saints 26-24. Both teams are 2-2. Derek Carr, 28-36, 239 yards, 1 interception because Dak is the only one that throws picks. Chris Olave, 87 yards on 8 catches. Kamara, 77 yards and 1 touchdown. Young Ho Koo, 58-yard field goal. Damn. And that's hey, Falcons get the win.
Yeah, it's I may have mentioned this before on our show, but I was watching the game once. I did a Bucks watch along on our channel, and I remember the days growing up when like a 58-yard field goal would be like front page news. Like crazy. That is like craziness, and he made that shit. He could have made that from 65. I mean, I'm obviously I'm a Bucks fan, so I never want to see any team in my division do well.
Right.
But it did help us take sole possession of first place with that loss against the Saints, or for the Saints. So I have no other comments other than I'm glad the Saints lost. I'm hoping that the Falcons don't play as good as they did against New Orleans on Sunday, and the lack of Kyle Pitts still being a weapon for the Falcons has got to be a little bit concerning.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man.
For Atlanta fans, because I remember he was a top 5 pick. Everybody was very, over the moon for him, already listing him as maybe one of the best tight ends possibly ever, crowning him before he even did anything in the league. And I don't know if it's him or if it's just the offense. Yeah, it just seems like he's just non-existent. He had 0 catches, 3 targets. Like, you would think this man would get way more targets, other than Drake London, of course. You would think he would get more targets, and it's just crazy how he's not existing in that offense. I don't know what's going on. And you thought maybe it was the old coach they had last year, and then they get rid of him, bring in Raheem Morris, and you're thinking, maybe we're gonna get some more Pitts now. No, it's not.
So it might be him then. They got a new quarterback and everything. I forgot that they changed coaches. So you're right.
New quarterback. Yeah, it's crazy. Damn. How he's just not being used at all.
I don't know. Maybe he's partying too much in Atlanta. I don't know what's going on. But both teams are 2-2. The Rams lose to the Chicago Bears 24-18. Chicago is 2-2. Rams 1-3. Matt Stafford 20 of 29, 224 yards, 1 interception because Dak is the only one that throws picks. Tutu Atwell 4 catches, 82 yards. Williams 19 carries, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Caleb Williams, let's go to Caleb Williams. 17 of 23, 1 touchdown, 157 yards. DeAndre Swift, we got on him last week, and I guess he was like, I'm going to shut everybody up this week. 93 yards, 1 touchdown. And he also led the team in receiving with 7 catches, 72 yards. So
that's crazy.
Swift had a crazy day, and I guess he just shut us up for at least a week. So, hey, congrats to Swift. Congrats to Chicago. You got anything on that?
The Rams are probably one of the luckiest teams because more than likely they're going to probably have a bad season. With Puka out and Kupp out, they may not even bring them back depending on where their record stands when they're fully healthy. These guys may end up drafting like a Travis Hunter or someone around those lines to join that already talented team.
It's pretty from Arizona.
Yeah, if you think about it, like that is insane. And you got to give the Rams props. I don't like the Rams. I'm not a big McVay fan either. But they are still competing out there, throwing it to Tutu Atwell and Jordan Whittington.
Picked them up on my fantasy. I'm glad Tutu got those.
And Colby Parkinson. He's throwing it to guys that may not even be, in the rotation on other teams. So congrats to at least them still fighting. But yeah, I was kind of shocked the Bears won, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, because I think we both picked the Rams. I
thought that defense would at least contain the Bears a little bit better, but they could not stop DeAndre Swift for some odd reason.
Yeah. Swift he decided to turn it up, man. I got to give it to him. He turned it up. So shout out to Swift. Vikings are now 4-0 as they go to Green Bay. No matter if Jordan Love returned, it didn't matter. They go to Green Bay, they win 31-29. Jordan Love 32 of 54, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns. Aaron Jones against his former team, 93 yards on 22 carries. Reed, 7 catches, 139 yards, 1 touchdown for Green Bay. And the Vikings are, I mean, this is crazy. Sam Darnold was 20 of 28, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. We got to start looking at this team a little differently now.
Yeah, you got to throw a little bit of respect their way. You know, they're 4-0 with Sam Darnold. I think everyone's expecting, well, all I've been hearing on the sports outlets is, when is Darnold going to turn into the pumpkin? You know, he has this like fantasy like story going on where everything is just going his way these first 4 games. He had a little bit of a rough patch a little bit in that game where Green Bay was ending up coming back. But props to the Vikings being able to, weather the storm. They kept the lead. The defense stepped up when it needed to be, and they were end up to winning that game. It was close. I was actually surprised seeing how things were going in that game, that Green Bay was able to make a run and come back. So they scored 22 points in the 4th quarter. That's got to be a little bit concerning if you're a Vikings fan or, a Vikings player. So that's not good. They go up against the Jets, who you would think defense is a little bit better than Green Bay. It's in London, so it's going to be interesting to see how they perform there. But yeah, you got to throw some respect towards Minnesota for sure. Yeah.
And when you look at Minnesota, I mean, really, if you look at the team on paper, the quarterback is the main issue. That's what's shocking everybody, because they got talent. They got the number 1 receiver in the league. They got one of the best, if not the best, number 2 receiver in the league. If he's not the best number 2, he's definitely like in the top 5 number 2 receivers in Addison. You add a running game with Aaron Jones. Your offensive line is decent, but your defense, you shore up your secondary. You still got Harrison Smith. You added Shaq Griffin. You added Byron Murphy. You added Stephon Gilmore. So your secondary is pretty nice. Your linebackers and D-line has always been solid. So the big question mark when you think about it is the quarterback, and he's balling right now. So yeah, you gotta start looking at, Minnesota differently, man, with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison being healthy. So if they stay healthy, they might be a problem for folks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting if he continues to play this way, what Minnesota ends up doing, because they did draft a quarterback in the 1st round. So thinking that he was going to be the future for Minnesota.
Right.
And if Darnold's playing so well for your team, he's probably gaining respect from the team. You got yourself a little predicament there. What do you do? Do you re-sign him? What do you do after
who, Sam?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's going to get people looking at him too.
Go ahead and take him. I'm not falling for 1 year. I just say it's a miracle year. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
Go ahead and take him. I've seen too many other years of not living up to the hype, so I'm not falling for it. Unless he takes a discount.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get like a Baker deal. Or Baker got like 3 years.
And that's what he's going to be looking for.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sure.
No, I'm good on that. The Steelers lose to the Colts. 27-24. Steelers are now 3-1. Colts are 2-2. Joe Flacco came in. Joe Flacco, man? Go from MVP for the Ravens, Super Bowl MVP, to losing your job to Lamar and your backup. But you go to Cleveland, you take Cleveland to the playoffs. Then they send you to Indianapolis, and now you bring them back in the game. Like, Joe Flacco, man, we might have to start putting a little respect on Joe Flacco, man.
Yeah, for sure. And what's funny is I have Pittman in my fantasy, and I sat him because he's just been awful. Not particularly because of him, but the quarterback it's a quarterback issue. And once I saw Richardson down and was not coming back, I knew Pittman was going to end up having a good game. And it's just, you knew Flacco was going to end up finding him, and he did. And,
6 catches, 113 yards.
You know what? And also, Justin Fields did not have a bad game either. 22 for 34, 312 yards, no picks, a touchdown.
Yep.
You know, it was just
That's the starter.
Yeah, I don't see Russ taking over. Like at this point, you just
Trade
sit Russ, and if you trade, you could try to trade him, which I don't think he's gonna get any value for anyone. Like if you're Miami, for example, who we've been talking about maybe going after him,
Mm-hmm.
what's a realistic return for Justin Fields? Is it a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick
I'm not
for
trading.
Russ? Not Justin Fields.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Russ Wilson. Like, what is the asking price for Russell Wilson at this point?
They might still, for a team that has the talent like Miami, and they just need a quarterback. They might get desperate and give you a 3 and some change.
Yeah, it's interesting to see
So-
because, like, you know, obviously Russell's kind of, you know, he's fallen off that cliff
Uh-huh.
ever since he left Seattle and went to Denver. If you have desperate teams like Miami who's just running with whoever they can at this point, do you try and go after Russ? We keep mentioning this every week, but we're the seemingly only people that mention Russell Wilson going to Miami.
I
Seems
think
like
people forget
nobody
that
else.
he's in the league. So that's why we the only ones talking about it, because they forget he's in the league. Like he's just making babies with Sierra right now.
Hey, that's not a rough life at all.
It's not, and
I'll
he's
take that.
paid, and he's paid for it too.
For real.
Who can use Russ? So Miami can use Russ. Maybe the Colts. Well, they got Flacco's, but it depends on how they look at Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
maybe the Colts say, you know what, we tired of this Richardson thing. I can't think of nobody off the top of my head that can.
You
just
know,
say-
honestly, I think that's like really the only team that I would
the
think
Giants,
maybe the Giants
Yeah.
if you're giving up on Daniel Jones.
which they
but
should have did a long time ago.
like I think only like the really true team that you're like, yeah, I could see them going from is Miami.
Yeah, yeah. If I could think of another team later on, Carolina maybe.
Yeah, you can go
Yeah,
Carolina.
so, but I don't Carolina. Why would you do that when you got a chance to get Shador and everybody else that's coming up in the draft? So for cheap. So yeah, I'll do that. Broncos. This was an ugly game, bruh. They win 10-9 over the Jets. I don't know how you score 9 points when your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers and he throws the ball 42 times at home. Like.
That's rough,
I
man.
just don't understand that. Mike Williams 4 catches, 67 yards. Yeah, Broncos 2-2, Jets 2-2. It was an ugly game, man.
It was definitely an awful game. I guess if you want to make it one excuse, you could go with the weather being pretty bad. You know, it was not the greatest weather to play football in. But again, you got Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, and you're getting nothing from him right now. It's just interesting to see that, you know, he has weapons. You know, he has Garrett Wilson, but Garrett Wilson is not getting the ball. It's Lazard. Like,
Right.
it's just interesting. And then the Brees Hall, another one. Like, this guy was unreal last season, and he's non-existent. He's about to maybe lose his job to the backup running back.
But he didn't get the ball either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, if you look at it, he got 2 more carries than Braylon Allen,
Yeah.
5 more than Aaron Rodgers. What the hell? Like, what is going on in New York? Like, it's just crazy.
Salah's going to get fired.
And, you know, you do get Garrett Wilson with 8 targets. He only caught 5. But it's like, I had high expectations for this team, obviously. I have them going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Right.
And maybe they get Devontae Adams and you team him up with Garrett Wilson and you team him up with all those other talent you got over there in New York. And that could help. But, man, it might be a coaching issue at this point.
Eddie, what's good? I'm going to just turn the chat off on the screen because this is not displaying. That's what I was trying to test earlier, but it's just, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I even refreshed it to see if it'll
Yeah, I can see if I can do it. Let's
see on the
I'll
screen,
just put-
but it's not on the screen. But Eddie was good. Like yours will probably show. Do another one. Send another. I had it off. Yeah, send another one real quick.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. And then my screen just went black. Can you see me?
I can see you.
I don't know what the hell's going on over here. Let's get through the show. But Philadelphia, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take out the Philadelphia Eagles 33-16. Tampa is 3-1. I told you Tampa was gonna handle them, man. Them with the Philly and Detroit is just, I don't get it why Tampa is a thorn in their sides, but you guys are 33-16, 3-1. Jalen Hurts 18-30, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Baker Mayfield 30-47, 347 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon 84 yards on the ground. Let's see, you guys. Mike Evans 94 yards, 8 catches, 1 touchdown. Chris Godwin 6 for 69. And now somebody's calling my phone. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
Golly, and it just took off my ESPN, just all the way off my screen. Like, jeez, man. Okay, Sterling Shepard 3 for 51. Kate Otten 6 for 52. You know, I mean, Eagles look bad. I'm gonna let you talk about this game because this is your team. Why is he calling me right back like I'm not on stream right now?
Oh man, they need you, man. You're popular. Honestly, I want to be excited for this win, but seeing that everybody was out for Philly, I don't want to get my hopes up too high. It was a good win. They handled Philly. Philly almost made a run in the second quarter, but luckily Levante David was able to cause a fumble while the Eagles were driving. I'm happy the way the Bucs played. I think they could have played a little bit better in the second half. They kind of kept Philly around a little bit in the second half, keep getting them chances to make a run to come back. But the defense stepped up when it needed to be. We're still down quite a few key players on that defense, which makes me worried about tonight as well. But yeah, Bucky Irving's coming into play. It looks like he's going to start getting more carries, might take over the starting role over Rachaad White. I thought Baker played an excellent game, made some unreal throws in that game as well. But glad to see Mike Evans get a touchdown because he didn't do well against the Broncos.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
What is it about the Broncos? I mean,
I don't know, man.
I know they got what's the name, Surtain over there, but he's only one guy.
Yeah, it's just we did not play well against Denver, and I'm glad it was kind of like a wake-up call. Get a win against Philly going into Atlanta tonight.
Wow, moving on. The Bengals finally get their first win of the season as they struggled for a while to beat Carolina, who is now 1-3 as well. Bengals win 34-24. Joe Burrow 22-31, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hubbard on the ground, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Jamar Chase 85 yards, 3 catches, 1 touchdown. I mean, congrats to the Bengals. It looks like Jamar and Joe are getting along again, and they're on the same page now. They seem to be pretty happy with each other. That's all I got from that game.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much out of that game that you can really talk about. I mean, obviously, it looks like Dalton's going to be taking over that starting role. They just play better with him. And I feel bad for Bryce, but he's being a sport, man. You can see him. They showed clips of him on the sideline pumping up Andy Dalton and being a good sport about being benched and looking like his career with Carolina is most likely over. So I give him that for being he's not being a brat or being bummed about it. He's still being a team player. But yeah, not much really to talk about that game. It was just 2 bad teams playing each other, and the better team won out of the 2 bad teams.
Getting paid to do nothing, I'll be happy too.
Yeah, for real.
Getting paid to do nothing. I'll sit out there and cheer you on too. Put me on the practice squad. Hell, I'll be fine. This game kind of upset me because I decided last minute to replace the Ravens defense on my fantasy for the Texans defense, and it cost me about 9 points. So the Texans did get the win though. They win 24-20. Jaguars are 0-4. Texans are 3-1. CJ Stroud 27-40, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins 12 catches, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, I've been telling folks, even though Diggs is there, that is the number 1 receiver. Trevor Lawrence, 18 to 33, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Tank Bigsby on the ground, 90 yards on 7 carries. ETN, you really pissed me off this week because you're on my fantasy. 11 carries, 50 yards. Christian Kirk is finally giving me some type of points.
Yeah, he played good.
He had 61 yards, 1 touchdown on 7 catches. Brian Thomas Jr., 6 for 86 in a touchdown. I mean, I guess it's a good win for Houston. Jags are starting to show a little fight these last 2 weeks. WWE fan was good. But, I mean, Houston is a better team. I expect Houston to just be... I expect Houston to whoop them, destroy them, and they just didn't do it. So that's all I got on that.
Yeah, it's funny because I think after week 1, we were like really crowning Houston. Like, man, this team is, they're from top to bottom. Like, they're Super Bowl contenders, winners possibly. And it kind of came down to earth since then. They struggle against Jacksonville. They get whooped the week before. So it's just like, who is actually this team? Should you even be excited to be 3-1, seeing these wins that you have had have been close? I mean, they close game against Colts week 1, and then close game against the Jags. But again, you got to think too, it's a divisional game. To me, divisional games are tough. Regardless if the team you're playing is 0-12, 0-13, divisional games are tough. So, yeah, we'll see how Houston plays this week against a really good Buffalo Bills team. Who's going to want to get some revenge on Stephon Diggs, I'm sure. So it's going to be an interesting game and seeing how Houston comes out and plays that one.
Hopefully Diggs play better against Buffalo than what Gabe Davis did, because Gabe Davis has been trash all year. A big disappointment. Greg on YouTube. Saints beat Cowboys. Falcons beat Saints. Arthur Blank is Jerry Jones' daddy. Well, the Saints won their Super Bowl when they beat the Cowboys because they ain't done shit since. So, keep doing your second line parades around AT&T Stadium, but you ain't done nothing since. So, moving on, the Commanders are now 3-1 as they put up 42 points on Arizona in Arizona, 42-14. Arizona is now 1-3. Jalen Daniels, man, 26-30, 233 yards, 1 touchdown. James Conner, 104 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. Jalen Daniels looked good 2 straight games, man. What your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Commanders made the right choice in quarterback. People are starting to be really, really high on him. I thought someone said, I forgot what analyst said he's the best quarterback in the NFC. I don't know about all that, but he's playing very, very well. And if I'm the Commanders, and I know Devontae hasn't mentioned them as a team to go to, but if I'm the Commanders, I try to grab Devontae Adams. I mean, to me, the NFC East is wide open at this point, between the 3 teams that they're in with. So if I'm the Commanders, I would try to grab Devontae and boost up that offense even more. Because holy crap, that offense looked unreal on Sunday. I get it, they're playing the Cardinals.
Right.
So let's not get too over our heads here. But, Jalen Daniels is playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, the Cardinals is one of my sleeper teams for this season, though. So I'm a little disappointed in what the Cardinals are showing so far. So, Washington, I like what they have, but I'm still like not yet. They secondary is pretty bad still. So, but the D-line has always been good in Washington. So that's not an issue. Quarterback play is better. I mean, they could be working with something here. Give me another week with them before I can start like crowning them, right? 49ers moved to 2-2. They win 30-13 over the Patriots. Patriots 1-3. Brock Purdy 15-27, 288 yards, 1 touchdown. Mason on the ground for him, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Juwan Jennings 3 catches, 88 yards. The 49ers get it done. Fred Warner had a pick 6. I really have nothing on that game outside the fact that they probably didn't need Brandon Ayuk like they thought they did.
Yeah, I think they overreacted a little bit with Brandon Ayuk, thinking that they didn't have anybody else that could fill his shoes, and obviously they do with Juwan Jennings. You got to give Purdy some props. He's still going out there and playing well without his key guys there. Looks like McCaffrey might be done for the year.
Madden curse.
Yeah, for real. Patriots, again, I don't know what their objective is this year. If they just want to kind of just wing it and then get another top 5 pick next year or what. But, man, I don't see why they don't move on from Brissett. Like, this dude looked
Patriots
good
can
week.
use Russell Wilson.
Yeah, shit. I mean, they looked good week 1. But after that, Brissett has just looked bad. There's times where he's just holding the ball too long. He's just taking some bad sacks. I don't know if it's just he can't run anymore because he used to be guys that was a little bit mobile. He could run if it needed to be. Now you rarely see that from him. He just takes sacks. So I'm just kind of shocked that they haven't moved on and started Drake May yet.
Oh yeah, I don't know what they got going on, but it is what it is with the Patriots. Moving on, 2 teams that could probably use Russell Wilson. Which we're trying to find teams for Russell Wilson here. Cleveland Browns lose to the Vegas Raiders. Those are 2 teams who look like they need some quarterback play. Deshaun Watson, 24-30, 276 yards, 1 touchdown. Like, how you throw the... Since when are we throwing the ball 30 plus times and only getting 176 yards? And I'm seeing that a lot with a lot of these quarterbacks now. So, Jerry Jeudy, 6 catches, 72 yards. Raiders 2-2, Browns 1-3. I have nothing on that game.
Other than that, I mean, the Browns, my goodness, like another team with another disappointing year, with a team that is good enough to do something and make noise in the AFC. I mean, not Super Bowl or nothing, but at least make the playoffs. And it just seems like, my gosh, bro, it's always something with that team, and they're stuck with Deshaun. It's not going to get any better. We talked about it last week. Maybe they go to Jameis eventually. Maybe that can get the team morale
Jameis
going.
is there.
But it's like, my goodness, guys, like, you need to do something. They may get Chubb back. That could help out a lot for them with Chubb being back. But more than likely, they're going to trade Amari Cooper. You know, it seems like he's going to be gone anytime soon. So it's just rough to watch Cleveland. I just feel bad for their team for their fans because, you know, they have a diehard fan base for the Browns, and they've been mediocre forever. And it just seems like they just keep making bonehead moves after bonehead moves.
And it looked promising. And I mean, again, they was the number 2 defense last year. They didn't really lose nobody on defense, and they just don't look the same. So I don't know. But speaking of a team that don't look the same and is probably going to get worse because they lost their number 1 receiver, the Chiefs moved to 4-0. They win over the Chargers 17-10. Chargers 2-2. Pat Mahomes 245 yards, 19-29, 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 14 carries already, 69 yards. Kelsey, we finally see Kelsey. 7 catches for 89 yards. Chiefs win again. They just keep finding ways to win. That was my thoughts on that game. Anything?
No, just the injuries keep coming for Kansas City. This time it was their own teammate that took out their wide receiver. That's kind of crazy. But again, it just seems like one guy goes down, they bring in someone, and they pick up the slack.
Yep.
You know, they lose Pacheco, they get Kareem Hunt off the streets because he wasn't playing. And again, he knows the system, he knows how to play for that team, and he goes in there and has a really good game for them. Now Rashid Rice goes down, who goes up and steps up for them. Xavier Worthy, he has a good game for them.
Yeah.
It's like they just pick and put people in that offense, and it's like
they're gonna make a trade,
and they're probably gonna end up with Amari Cooper, and if they end up with Davante Adams, the NFL is rigged. I mean, straight up. I mean, they could end up with Davante for all week. It's like, it's kind of crazy to think about.
They're throwing Tyreek Hill return back now.
Yeah, I don't. Now that's a little bit crazy, but I mean, who knows? Like, definitely, who knows these days? It's just crazy that I as much as Kansas City is hated, because they are, they know how to play, and they know how to put people in positions to play well for them.
Yep.
And you just got to give their props, man. It's not all on Patrick Mahomes. It's on Andy Reid and that coaching staff. People need to realize that coaching staff that they have is top tier, where they can grab and pick people whoever they are and slide them right through, and they succeed.
You think Tyreek is regretting leaving?
Oh, for sure.
Kansas City for
Absolutely.
Miami?
Now, I'm not even sure why he left Kansas City in the first place. I don't know if it was
I think it was money. I think.
I don't know. I think it was money. I'm sure money
Yeah.
played a huge factor. But
Because I think his contract at
again,
the time was like the richest wide receiver contract when he signed his, I believe.
why, and I get it, it's all about the money, and I understand that you want to have money when you end your career. I get you. First off, be smart with your money when you're in the NFL.
Right.
But second off, wouldn't you rather be successful and always being in the hunt for a Super Bowl every single year instead of being in the position that you are now and frustrated because you're not getting the ball and you're frustrated that Tua can't stay healthy?
Yeah.
And that your team is mediocre once again, and you're probably not going to do anything this year,
Yeah.
wasting your career. You're just wasting your career away with that move that you made
And
because
you
you were
getting
money
arrested
hungry.
by the racist cops outside.
Yeah, there you go. For sure.
Stadium.
You can't tell me, like, even though Kansas City may not have wanted to give him that full amount of money that he was asking for,
Right.
who knows what they could have done a year or two from now. Maybe they they fixed the contract up and they try to fix it up to his liking. Like, there's so many things that the Kansas City Chiefs could have done for Tyreek, but he was just set on making that money.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. You got your bag. There you go. Is he, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, he's from Miami too, right? Or from that area. So I think that played a factor too.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, but moving on, Chiefs keep winning. Ravens are back on it look like they're starting to figure it out, man. They took out the Cowboys and they destroyed the Bills, 35-10. Buffalo is now 3-1. Derrick Henry runs for 199 yards. Lamar Jackson had 3 touchdowns. I mean, Josh Allen only had 180 yards on 29 attempts. Justice Hill, who just got a brand new contract extension, 78 yards and a touchdown as well. Baltimore is starting to look like the team that we expected them to look like coming into the season, and it's like they're starting to figure it out. Lamar is like, I don't have to throw the ball no more than 15 to 18 times because we can just run it. I have Derrick Henry and Justice Hill, and I mean we not using our tight ends right now, so they're gonna eventually play into the offense. Like it's a lot. He got a lot of weapons, man, and the defense is starting to figure it out and starting to like the Baltimore defense again. So
Yeah, you think about it right now, Andrews has not been a weapon for Lamar all year.
would you try to trade for him?
I would maybe try to trade for him. You got Isaiah Likely, who's looks like he has potential and he's a future tight end for them.
Yeah.
Why not try to get rid of him for maybe some from draft picks, maybe get something back in return? But why not? I mean, it just seems like he's been non-existent in that offense. But you're right. They got a nice 1-2 punch with Derrick Henry and Hill. And then you got Lamar as well. So they got a nice little running game going. And if they could continue to keep that going, I mean, this team could be very scary. Again, you need Derrick Henry, obviously, to continue to play well for them. He's not going to always have these crazy games like he did against Buffalo. But if you can get a consistent run game, that'll open up the passing a lot more for Lamar, and you won't see what we got in the playoffs the last couple of years.
Look, if I'm Baltimore, I will put Andrews on the trade block. I will put Rashad Bateman with that trade, and I'll go get Devontae Adams.
I would go all in. Like Baltimore, there's only a few opportunities you're gonna have to be run the Chiefs in the playoffs, and this is your opportunity. You are just as talented as the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
You just need one more weapon on that offense.
You got to get it before they get it. So
Yeah,
even if it's just
absolutely.
to play defense, to stop them.
If I'm Baltimore, I would even try to go after Amari Cooper. Just someone that that you can rely on to get open.
Yeah.
And relieve stress on other wide receivers on Baltimore.
So we'll see what happened there. There's a lot of people apparently coming up. DeAndre Hopkins is apparently on the trade block.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
ETN is possibly on the trade block. So it's a lot going on right now. speaking of I'm sorry, that's ETN plays for the Jags. Let's move on. Tennessee Titans took out the Dolphins 31-12. Both teams are 1-3. Tony Pollard 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle 36 yards, 4 catches. Huntley 14-22 for 96 yards. It was a bad game, bro. It was a bad game. Shout out to the Titans. That's all I got.
Yeah, shout out to the Titans. And here we go, talking about Russell Wilson here or Jameis Winston.
Another team, right?
Why not just try and grab him and save your chances of making the playoffs this year, because we don't know when Tua is going to get back. So try to save your season and go after one of these backups that can help your team out and make Tyreek a little bit happy.
Thank God for the double header on Monday, because this game was a banger, especially in the second half. Detroit takes out the Seattle Seahawks 42-29. Both teams are now 3-1. Geno Smith 38-56, 395 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jared Goff was 18 of 18, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown killed me in fantasy when he did this, because he threw a touchdown and caught a touchdown at the end. I was like, you bastard. I was going up against him. Kenneth Walker, 3 touchdowns, 80 yards, 12 carries. Jahmyr Gibbs, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery, that crazy run he had, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. Jameson Williams, 2 catches, but 80 yards and a touchdown. That's why I say I would try to trade Brandon Cooks for Jameson Williams right now, but whatever. DK Metcalf, 7 catches, 104 yards. Tyler Lockett, 5 catches, 61 yards. Great game. That second half, both teams came out on fire, but Detroit just proved to be the better team. That's my take on it. You got any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give props to Seattle for being able to still compete with a team that doesn't look great, but they're still going out there and fighting every week.
Yeah.
Detroit's looking like they're still for real. And that touchdown catch by Jared Goff, man, holy shit. Oh,
crazy.
Wow. Yeah, so yeah, props to the Lions. A good win for them on Monday night.
I knew something was different. Both of my lights went off. It's like something looks off, man. But yeah, let's get into the power rankings. That is week 4. So let's get into the power rankings. Then week 5 predictions. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
There it is. I was trying to show the video with you, but I didn't get to it in time. So,
it's all good, brother.
Power rankings from last week. Tony had the Lions, Seahawks, Vikings, Bills, Chiefs. In that order, I had the Chiefs, Steelers, which is crazy now, Eagles, which is crazy as well, Vikings and Bills, which is crazy as well. So my power rankings did not hold up at all for me this week. I tried to give some teams, some credit, and they was like, nah, we don't need it. I went first last week. If I could get the text to pull up, come on, man, so I could change it. Give me 1 second. Stream Elements is now acting. Give me the text so I can change it. All right, so those are the power rankings from last week. Let's get into them. This week is on you.
Okay, let's do this. So mine's gonna switch up a little bit. At number 5, man, it was tough on number 5 because I wasn't really sure who to put there. But I'm gonna knock down Buffalo to number 5 in my power rankings. I'm going to put the Baltimore Ravens at number 4. I was almost close. I'm not going to lie to you to put the Commanders in here, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait another at least another week or 2 before I become a believer in the Commanders. Number 3, I'm going to go the Detroit Lions. I think they're back. I think they're another team. They're the team that we thought they were going to be. So I'm going to go Lions at number 3. Number 2, the Chiefs. Number 2, I'm gonna go Kansas City Chiefs.
Hmm.
And then number 1, I'm gonna do it. The Minnesota Vikings. It's hard not to put them up there. They've beaten playoff teams. They've gone on the road and beaten playoff teams. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings at the 4-0 at number 1.
Man, the Bills, Ravens, Lions, Chiefs, Vikings. He kept the Bills in even though they took an L.
I did.
That's interesting. I'm gonna replace the Bills with your Tampa Bay Bucks.
Whoa.
They got Tampa Bay. There's 2 impressive wins back to back. I gotta give them credit for that. Come on, stream whatever this is I'm using. There we go. Number 4. I don't know who I believe in, man. Like,
Ooh.
these are. I know I'm gonna miss. Oh, I'm gonna miss somebody. WWE fans, shut up.
Shut up, bitch.
So number 4 it's a battle between the Texans, the Commanders.
I was close to putting both those teams in, but Texans to me, they've had wins, but they're close and they're against teams that are not good. Commanders, same boat. They're 3-1. They handled the Cardinals, but I want to see a little bit more before I'm like, yeah, they're a top 5 team.
I'll give you the Ravens. I'll put the Ravens 4 as well. That seems fair.
I mean, look who they beat too. You gotta think about that.
Yeah. Chiefs, even though they undefeated, a lot of injuries, you know. So I got the Chiefs number 3.
Wow.
Yeah, Chiefs number 3. Cause I feel like it's. I mean, they still ain't lost, but still, I Chiefs number 3. Number 2. How much do I believe in the Vikings? Do I believe in them over Detroit? I have to. I got to. They undefeated, man. That's tough. I think Detroit's still a better team, but right now, if we going off with just week 4, I got to put the Vikings in there. They went to Lambeau and handled up. So there it is. Week 4 predictions. I'm sorry, week 4 power rankings. Now let's get into week 5 predictions, and then we'll dive a little bit into the NBA real quick. So let's make this quick, and we'll get into these predictions because I know a game is about to start, and we're about to start with that game right now. Come on, ESPN. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Both teams. I'm sorry, Tampa's 3-1. Atlanta's 2-2.
Man.
Atlanta's favored by 2.5.
I just hope it's a close game, but I think Atlanta wins. We're down again. Winfield, we're down our 2 wide receivers. We're still down our offensive linemen. We're down Kalijah Cansey, our defensive tackle.
You're down 2 wide receivers?
We're down 2 wide receivers. Sterling Shepard will be our 3rd wide receiver tonight. So,
but you still got Evans and Godwin, though, right?
We still got Evans and Godwin, thank goodness. But we lost Trey Palmer last week against the Eagles to a concussion. So he's not playing. So I want to go Bucks. Like, I believe in my team. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it's going to be a little bit tough coming off that Sunday, losing still people on that defense, and then playing against Atlanta. In Atlanta, that's a tough ball game right there for the Bucks. So I'm gonna go Atlanta.
I'm gonna take Tampa again. I'm telling you to believe in your team. I'll take Tampa in this game. The Jets at the Vikings. I got the Vikings.
You know what? I'm gonna go upset here. I'm gonna go the Jets.
Okay. I could have sworn they just. It felt like they just played, but that was just another bad game apparently. But Carolina at Chicago.
Ooh, man. I'm gonna go Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago as well. Ravens at Cincinnati.
Ravens.
Yep, got the Ravens as well. Dolphins at Patriots. Who's playing quarterback? I think the Patriots
Huntley.
win.
I'm thinking Patriots too.
I hate that because I got A-Chain on my fantasy. I need A-Chain to go off. But I got the Patriots winning. The Browns at Commanders.
This will be a test for Jaden Daniels to me. Against a good Browns defense.
I was a good Browns defense.
True, yeah. I'm gonna go. Where's it at?
Washington.
I'm gonna go Cleveland. I'm gonna still go Cleveland.
I'll take the Commanders. I don't know why, but I'm gonna take the Commanders. Cleveland is just a big disappointment.
Yeah.
Colts at the Jaguars.
Oh man.
If Flacco plays, I'm
Is
taking the
Flacco
Colts.
playing? Like, do we know if he's playing or not? If Flacco plays, I want to go Colts, but since we don't know, I'll go Jags.
Jags got to get a win, man. I just don't. They're playing better, but they're still not winning. So I'll take the Jags too because it's the Colts and they're at home. Bills at Texans.
Woo, that should. I don't know how that game is at like on Sunday night or Monday Night Football.
It's at noon.
That is wild to me. Like, how is that game not game of the week? It's in Houston.
Yep.
I'm a Josh Allen boy. I'm gonna go Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen is gonna try to destroy the Texans, and I think he's gonna be airing it out to everybody. I got Buffalo.
I got Houston at home. Buffalo is favored by 1 though.
That's really
yeah.
wow.
Raiders at the Broncos.
I'm gonna go Broncos.
I'm gonna have to go Broncos too, and I'm gonna have to bench Myers because apparently you play the Broncos, you ain't getting no receiving yards on that team.
Yeah,
so
really, yeah.
you bench him in fantasy this week. Cardinals at the 49ers. San Francisco's favored by 7.5.
Jesus. I mean, by the way Cardinals played last week, I totally understand. I'm gonna go Cardinals though.
I just don't know what to believe no more when it comes to Arizona. So I want them to win, but I'm gonna take the 49ers. Packers at the Rams.
Packers.
Got the Packers as well. Giants at the Seahawks.
Gotta go Seahawks, man.
Seattle. I've been struggling with this game. Actually, I haven't really. Cowboys at Steelers. Actually, I have been struggling with this game because after they lost, I was like, okay.
It's in Dallas too, right?
No, it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's in Pittsburgh. Oof.
No Brandon Cooks, no Deron Bland, no Micah Parsons, no Tank Lawrence.
You know what? I believe in Dak more than I do Justin Fields. So
I
I'm
do
gonna
too,
go
but
Dallas.
I don't believe in the defense at all. At all. And again, all those pieces are missing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys won. I wouldn't be surprised at all. This just feels like a trap game where the Steelers have that 3-1 record and they should win at home with all the injuries the Cowboys have. But the Steelers showed you last week they can lay an egg at any moment. So
Oh yeah.
but I think the Steelers right now, if you look on paper, I think they still have the better team. So I'm gonna take the Steelers over the Cowboys. Saints at Kansas City.
Oof, that's
Monday
a good one.
night.
That's a good one right there. I'm gonna go Kansas City.
I got Kansas City as well. They favored by 5.5. So that's week 5 predictions. The Lions, Titans, Eagles, and Chargers are all on a bye week. And real quick before we go, let's get into the latest of the NBA, which
Do it.
what we're going to do is we're going to give our early predictions. So our top 3 teams in the West, top 3 teams in the East. But let's start you off with the breaking news that went crazy. Karl Anthony Towns was traded to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle. Those are the two big names in that trade. There's a lot of other pieces that got moved, but Julius Randle is in Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns is in New York. Who won that trade?
To me, it's kind of, I don't think anybody really won the trade. I think it's a fair trade. I think New York finally got what they needed in another star with Brunson, because Brunson's been playing against role players. That's like all he has is role players. They got Bridges now to go along Brunson and Towns. I think that's a great little trio there that could work out. But Brunson has needed help. I mean, Brunson's been a one-man gang in that New York team all year long last season.
Yeah.
And he finally, he was running on empty in that Pacers series. So I really do think that Cat helps him out. Now, he did go MIA in the Western Conference Finals. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays in a tougher market where a
tougher coach that he complained about before.
Right. Now, he does go act with Tibbs, so we'll see how that works out for him over there in New York. Minnesota, they got DiFincenzo. I think that's a good little setup guy for them. They get Julius Randle, who I think is good, but he just can't freaking stay healthy.
And that's why I think the Knicks won the trade.
That, I guess, if you want to go that route, the Knicks overall won this trade because Cat seemingly does never get hurt. And Julius Randle seems to get hurt in the worst time. Like, he got hurt, played all year, and then gets hurt in playoffs. And then they lose him in the playoffs. So I think in the long run, it'll probably be New York because they'll probably get deeper in the playoffs than Minnesota. I'm just kind of shocked that they did this trade, seeing where they went last season. They went to the conference finals. They were seemingly, did they go 7 games? I can't remember. Or was it 6 games?
Talking about with the 6.
Okay, so they had Denver on the ropes. So, they could have, that series could have went either way. And I'm just kind of shocked that they gave up on Cat like that and kept Gobert. Gobert over Cat.
And
I guess sure.
That's the problem. So money played a factor into it with the new CBA, because the CBA that they signed, whichever the latest one is, basically was like, you don't have all this money to keep these players. Basically, they trying to avoid super teams. Right. So that was part of the reason, because if they would have kept Cat, they would have had to cut 2 of their top role players, and they didn't want to do that. And apparently they just couldn't find a trade for Rudy.
Okay.
So yeah, they had to let one of those big contracts go, and I mean, I would have gave Rudy up for anything at this point. Like,
I agree with you on that one.
But yeah, Cat is the one that's gone to New York. I think the Knicks got better. I think they won a trade just because, like you said, the Knicks got bigger, which is needed in the Eastern Conference. When going up against Philly and people like that, so it helps to have that size and that versatility, because Cat can do everything Julius Randle does, and he's just a bigger version of him.
He can shoot threes. He can shoot. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah.
I think New York would like when he got if he's going to be soft Cat, then there's going to be a problem in New York.
Yeah.
But I still think the Knicks won, and then Julius Randle can't stay healthy, and they got smaller in Minnesota in the West, which there's something you don't want to do in the West. The conferences get smaller at the power forward position. So, top 3 teams, early predictions in the East, top 3 in the West. Who I would say top 2, but we'll throw 3 in there because it's kind of tough to pick a top 2. So we'll throw in 2 in a wild card.
I'm gonna go the easy route. I think in the East, you've got the same Boston, New York, Milwaukee. I think more Orlando and Cleveland have, and Philly. I forgot about Philly. You know what? I'm gonna take Milwaukee out. I'm gonna go Boston, New York, and Philly. I totally forgot they got Paul George. I think that might help them out tremendously, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they work as a tandem, and if Joel Embiid can just stay healthy. Right. I think if the Philly can get a healthy Embiid all year and in the playoffs, they could be some trouble. In the Western Conference, I think Dallas overtops Minnesota now. with that trade.
Oh, they was on top of them anyway.
I
That's
think
Dallas is who put them out. So let's go. We over top of them anyway.
true. So I'm gonna go Dallas in there. In no particular order. I'll go Dallas. You got to put Denver in there, and then Oklahoma City.
You got my 3 in the West. You definitely got my 3 in the West because that's who I was thinking. The top 3 teams are. And OKC is going to be very dangerous. Phoenix, no, WWE fan, they're done. Phoenix is a good regular season team. That's it. But OKC is dangerous. They only going to get better because now they got more experience under those young players. It's basically what they did with Russ, KD, and James. Like this is exactly what they're doing right now with the core that they have right now in OKC. They just re-upping. So Denver, you just got to put Denver in there, even though I think Denver might be on a decline a little bit. And then Dallas, just based off of what they did last year, and they got even better roster-wise on paper than what they were last year. So bringing Spencer Dinwiddie, bringing in Klay Thompson, Dallas got to be up there. So those are my 3 for the West. The East is a little difficult because you can move some teams around. Boston got to be number 1. You just can't not put Boston in there, right? But it's you can make a lot of cases for a lot of these teams. You can make cases for the Bucks, second year with Dame Lillard, Chris Middleton, and Greek Freak. Yeah, I mean, people got to remember they were injured in the playoffs. Dame went down and Giannis went down. That changes a lot. So that's a dangerous team. Milwaukee is dangerous. New York is dangerous. I think New York got a little better. Philly got better. Can they stay healthy, right? I'm gonna take Boston. I'm gonna take the Bucks. That number 3, you really can't ever sleep on Miami either.
You're right, dude. Miami seemingly always it's because it's the coaching, man. They got great coaching.
Yeah,
there.
You can't really sleep on Miami. I said New York is dangerous, WWE fan. And if I had to pick between New York, I guess I gotta pick New York because New York did beat Philly last year in the playoffs, and they beat them. They kind of beat them down a little bit. So yeah, my top 3 would be Boston, New York, and the Bucks in the East. So there's just a little NBA action because the NBA season's about to kick off and we got trades happening. So keep it short and sweet on that. And that's the show, man. Appreciate the ones coming in and out on YouTube, on Twitch. YouTube, the numbers keep going up and down, but nobody ever says anything on YouTube. I don't know what it is.
They just lurk in the chat and just chill.
Yeah, so WWE fan, appreciate you as always. D-Well, appreciate you as always. Rob has been missing. Greg, appreciate you as always.
Dude, that man's been working. Like, he's got a job now. So
yeah,
he worked crazy ass hours. So
that's who
I doubt we'll ever see him. On the time frame that we go live, I doubt we'll see him.
Yeah, King, who's always in my chat with Rob. He's been missing. Same thing, been working crazy, but he's in my fantasy. Like, he joins my fantasy every year, my fantasy league that I'm doing. Eddie, appreciate you joining. And all the lurkers that's coming in and out, Lizard and all them, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the likes, YouTube and everything. Anything you want to shout out?
Nah, just appreciate you having me. If you are wrestling fans, we'll be live tomorrow for SmackDown, and you got Bad Blood on Saturday.
Ooh,
so
and it's an
we'll
hour early start.
Yeah, it starts at 5 o'clock.
I'm not even gonna be at home.
Can you? It's crazy. 5 o'clock start time.
It's like five matches.
Yeah, 5 matches. That shit gonna end by 8 o'clock. So it's a nice little change, I guess. But that's super early for us in USA. Usually, if it's that early, it's over in a different country.
Right.
So, but yeah, early start tomorrow or Saturday. So, if you guys want to hang out tomorrow or Saturday, you just come hang out and chill.
WWE fan, I'm not sure. We were supposed to go live this past Sunday, and I just ended up getting caught up with stuff last minute because the plan was to go live this Sunday. We just had to nix it last minute because I just didn't get home in time. So yeah, we'll probably do a reaction show Sunday for Bad Blood. I'm not gonna be at home Saturday because I have a wedding gig I have to play at. So, what else? Just stay tuned. We might have Melina back on the podcast pretty soon. I'm gonna try to go to this event tomorrow, this local wrestling event tomorrow in Dallas. They got a lot of nice wrestlers like the Maya Worlds, who's been on the show. She's gonna be there. Moose is gonna be here tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to talk to some wrestlers tomorrow, and see if we get something. Then we got Pro Wrestle Revolver that I'm doing next week, so I'll be there for Pro Wrestle Revolver too. So just stay tuned. We got some stuff coming up. And anytime I get an announcement, I'll let y'all know. So tap in on the website, tap in on the social medias, man. Facebook, I'm starting to build that Facebook, Dope Content Facebook. So get on there. Instagram, I'm not consistent, but it's connected to the Facebook. So we're gonna start trying to build an Instagram too. Might as well. TikTok kind of went up a little bit.
TikTok's tough, bro. I made a TikTok. That shit's hard.
I had one video go viral from WNBA, and it's just
I don't know how fucking people do it, bro. I mean, god damn. I've had like one video hit 1,000 views. Most of them hit like 500-600 views. I'm like, fuck. What do I gotta do?
I mean, that ain't bad either. The 500-600.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not. But it's hard to like. You see all these other content creators that do wrestling on TikTok, and you're like, I'm thinking to myself, it's obviously because I don't have like the frame where he shows what's going on and you're talking about it.
Okay.
So
use I'll send you my affiliate link. Use CapCut for that.
Yeah, because I have no idea how to use any of that shit. Yeah. So yeah, I might need to get some of your learnings there for sure.
Yeah, I'm an affiliate with CapCut, so that's what I use to, and you just do it all from your phone. Like it's not hard at all. It's super easy. So. What else? I think that's all I can think of. But yeah, I had one YouTube video go viral. I'm sorry, one TikTok video go viral, and I went from like 200 to 1,200. I've been stuck at the 1,200 for a while, but that one video. So if you want to go viral on TikTok, all you gotta do is eat.
Yeah, mukbangs, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't eating on the video. It was just a WNBA player. I asked her a funny question and everybody loved it. But that's all I see on TikTok. I'm like, people just eat. They don't even say that. They just turn the camera on, smack it and stuff. And they got like 1 million views. Like, what the hell?
For sure. But you ain't lying, bro.
This shit is ridiculous. You don't need talent to do nothing. You don't have to work hard. Just grab. Next time you do a wrestling video to put on TikTok,
eat while I do it, right?
While you're doing it and watch it blow up. Watch it blow up. This shit is crazy. So. But appreciate y'all joining, man. Until next time, we'll be back next week, same time, 7 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Central time. I know a lot of people be trying to get in from work, but that's the best time that works for both of us right now until, our schedules change. We still work jobs and stuff. So,
Max.
Keep coming in. Tell people about it. I'll do better on promoting because I've been horrible promoting. So the new time slot and everything. So I'll get better at that. And yeah, we just trickle in more NBA as that come. NCAA as that come. Shout out to Georgia and Alabama. Fire game between those two. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Anything else you got, Tony?
That's it. Y'all take care.
Bye.
See y'all next week.
Next time, y'all be safe.
Peace out. Later, brother.
Yes, sir.